Trump's pardon, Turkey's imprisonment, and Britain's rules. This is your TLDR News daily briefing for Thursday the 26th of November. This is the 98th daily briefing, meaning that Monday will be the 100th episode. So to celebrate, we're doing a live stream that goes through the 100 weirdest, craziest, and funniest news stories of 2020. If you want to watch it, click the link in the description, and hit the bell to be notified when the event goes live. We've put a ton of time into it, so thanks for your support. In the first story of the daily briefing today, we look at a story from the US. Clearly, we've already broken our promise not to discuss the 2020 presidential election too much more, but we hope you'll forgive us. And in our defense though, this one is only loosely related. Anyway, since Trump lost the election, he's made it clear that it will be his aim to use his last few months in office to ensure that his allies don't suffer legally as a result of their actions working for him or on his behalf. This is through his ability to issue presidential pardons, something that come January will no longer be at his disposal. Trump has today pardoned Michael Flynn, his former national security advisor, because Flynn admitted to lying to the FBI. Many close to the president see Flynn's prosecutions as politically motivated, and are therefore likely behind the president's pardon. However, obviously the Democrats disagree, and instead see the pardon as a way for the president to undermine the rule of law and democracy itself, by the president pardoning officials convicted of violating the law to aid him politically. We should point out though that all presidents have this power, and Obama used it more than any other modern president. So far, Trump has done the opposite, and used it the least of any modern president. It's to be expected though that Trump will issue more pardons over the last few months of his presidency, with some speculating that he could maybe even try and pardon himself. But we'll have to see how that one plays out. In the second story today, we discuss a country we don't mention often in the daily briefing, or on our other channels to be fair, Turkey. While we're talking about a pardon in the US today, we're talking about the exact opposite happening in Turkey. That's because a court in Turkey has imprisoned 337 military officers for life for their roles in the 2016 attempted coup against Erdogan, the president of Turkey. The verdict concludes that many of those involved were intending on using F-16 bombers to strike key buildings, including the Turkish parliament. Many of those involved in this plot were given aggravated life sentences. The aggravated part means that the sentence will be even harsher than a standard life sentence. The 2016 coup resulted in 251 deaths and over 2,000 injuries, but if you think these sentences are correct or not, probably depends on which side of the political divide you fall. In the last story today, we move to the UK to discuss the major announcement made by the government, and that's the COVID tiering system, which will be re-implemented in England on the 2nd of December, after the national lockdown ends. It's been known for a few days that today the government would announce which areas would fall under which tiers of restrictions, and with the Health Secretary set to make the announcement at 7:30 AM today, it all seemed to be going fairly smoothly. But it didn't end up going quite to plan. That's because before the announcement, the government decided to release the website, which allowed people to check which restrictions they'd be under by entering their postcode. They did this mere minutes before Hancock made an announcement to the House of Commons. This led the Speaker of the House of Commons, Lindsay Hoyle, to scold the Leader of the House, Jacob Rees-Mogg, with the Speaker making it clear that all announcements should be made to the Commons first, rather than shared publicly online. While the Health Secretary was speaking, the website allowing people to enter their postcodes actually crashed under the weight of traffic, and it was not until later in the day that it began working again. This is something his counterpart, the Shadow Health Secretary, commented on during the announcement. Hopefully the next coronavirus announcement will end up being a little bit smoother. One quick last reminder, do join us for the live event on Monday, and the link to that can be found in the description. For those of you who think the news is too long, be sure to check out tomorrow's daily briefing. Read the newsletter by signing up at tldrnews.co.uk/daily. Listen to the briefing by searching for TLDR News in your podcast app, or watch the briefing over at youtube.com/TLDR Daily.